Welcome, everybody. This is the Dr. Nick's Amazing Man Stuff YouTube channel, and this live stream is every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, and it is called The Doctor's Orders, where this company shows you everything with long-form transparency that's going on. We want to include you guys in the chat, get these discussions going. My name is DNC Bearded. I am the host here. I'll be juggling some comments and the discussions and really just trying to highlight everything that this man and Jill, who is behind the scenes in the chat, shout out to Jill, brings to this community with their company. This is the doctor himself, aka Nick. Nick, as always, how are you doing?
Doing good, man. Busy week. The holiday week had us busy. New releases have us busy. New variants of shower products, which is the topic of the day, of course, is focused on shower products. So I'm glad that that's had us busy. And no, man, good all around. It's nice outside. It's nice in here. Feeling good.
Yeah, it is. It's super sunny out and like beautiful. I think we're going to hit the 50s today in Michigan.
Wow.
Yeah.
We had a 50s day. What was it? It was like right before I think it was Friday, right before we were busy. That's right. I think we bottled like 20 gallons of shower products on Friday, and it was like gorgeous outside. So we just kept stepping outside, pretending we were out there hanging out.
Yeah, absolutely. So guys and girls in the chat, if you don't mind, real quick to kick things off, drop a comment of where you're from and then what is the weather going to be like today? I think I saw Michigan, like I said, is like a high of 54. So put out those messages out there. And as Mike says right here, smash that like button like Gronk spikes the football after a TD. And he's laughing on this one because kind of a funny story. Mike is in he's mentioned on here before. He'll share. He's in the greater Chicago area. He got a package from True North. Eventually, this thing took the wildest journey of all time. If you were able to see his tracking, it went out, I think, to like Los Angeles and the Dakotas and all these places. And he gets the package, and it looks like somebody had a spiking of this package and just it doesn't even seem like it's possible. I got one yesterday that had a literal indent footprint on the box. Like it's not like. It wasn't like it was dropped. It had I could see the tread. If this was like a true crime podcast, I'd be able to tell you what size foot and what brand of shoe they had. So yeah, that was a wild journey on that one. Did you get to check out that tracking list there, Nick?
No, I didn't. From us?
Oh yeah. Jill was able to check it out.
You said True North. I think you were reading True North, and you said,
sorry.
No,
Mike.
No, I do know this. Yeah, no, that thing took a crazy journey, and then someone else had one that literally looked like I have no clue how you would actually get a bottle to smash like this. Like, to the point where it was like literally disintegrated. Like it was little bits of glass everywhere.
I know I've dropped them on tile floor. I don't get it. Yeah, I don't understand it.
I don't either. It's insane. All we do, is we just reship. That's all we can do. Yep. And we had someone reach out. They're like, this is how it came. And it was a little messed up. I think it was Jason Kildo. And so with Jason's, I remember him saying like, this is how it showed up, and I saw it, and it was an X's and O's, of course. And so he gets it, and I was like, well, did you like the way the bag smelled at least? Because if you did, we'll send you a new one. If not, we're happy to give you whatever else you'd like. And thankfully, yes, he thought the bag smelled great. So we sent him out another X's and O's.
Too funny. And of course, on the trip that Mike's package took, maybe the butter had gone through many different climates and melting and re-solidifying. He said that he put the butter in the freezer and it came out so smooth. So that's perfect and exactly what we recommend. So that is awesome and great feedback by so many people in here. I saw somebody comment on Jason says, Jill set a land speed record. X's and O's was ordered during the stream. So Tuesday afternoon, and it was on his porch you're coming from Massachusetts, one side of the country, all the way clear over to the other side to Washington State by Thursday afternoon.
Wow. I mean, Jill kills
phenomenal.
It. What's funny too is because we pride ourselves on fast shipping, right? If something in live streams are a little different, she kind of holds the shipping window open until the end of the live stream. So that way, anyone that orders during a stream, you're typically going to ship that same day. I'm not going to promise that always, but it's typical. But she usually tries anything that goes from 12 o'clock until like noon the next day is going to ship, noon that next day.
Yeah.
And so, but what's funny about that is it's kind of a double-edged sword, because sometimes people will have a problem with their order. Like maybe they'll accidentally select the wrong scent of an oil or something, and they send an email later that night when they realize it. It might have already shipped,
Gone.
So it's like fast shipping's a double-edged sword. It's like we want to be able to help people, but at the same time, she's moving so fast down there. Sometimes your email will come in after it's already packed.
Yeah.
In which case, we'll still take care of you. We always do.
For sure. And yeah, awesome. And Mike even said, I still use the oil out of the package. And he's like, might have had some glass, but my beard was soft at least.
Hey, little bits of sand glass can actually make a great exfoliant. No.
Yeah.
Call that maybe more microdermabrasion more than that is.
Right. We got to use the word allegedly in there. Allegedly. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You could use the Reddit thing of swim. Someone who isn't me recommends using glass as a exfoliant.
Right. And Beard of the North, Dan says, took a bit longer to get to Minnesota, and that's it can go out the same time, the same day, and a package can get clear across the country to Washington State and be slower in a state that's right next door or much closer.
Oh yeah. And there's one thing to this note too. We use scan forms when we send stuff with USPS, meaning that if we have, 80 packages going out, we get one barcode. So we select all the orders, you get one barcode, you hand the postal guy all the 80 packages, and he scans that one code, and that contains all the tracking for the whole thing.
Yeah.
And so we do that to make sure that we don't get anybody who's a little lazy at the post office going scan, whoops, scan, right? But what ends up happening sometimes is we'll get an email from someone like 3 weeks after an order shipped, and they'll say, hey, I've been trying to be patient, but I still haven't got my order. So first of all, you guys need to stop being so cool and so patient. Like, if you don't see your order within 6 days, let us know. And if tracking forever, says like for more than 48 hours shows, received or label created or something like that, we never print a label and keep it here for multiple days. So if you see like label created, for example, on like, February 1st and it's February 8th and it still shows label created waiting package, USPS has lost your package. It's gone. Right. And it's either one of two things.
At least temporarily.
Oh, yeah. It could just show up randomly a week later, which we do have happen.
Yeah, Garrett said his was in MA for 6 days, and then boom, at the door. And sometimes it's literally they don't scan it to update. Like they don't. You can't religiously follow those tracking orders. And sometimes your package gets stuck to another one. And there's so many situations.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, we even had to be because of that. We had to be careful of like the glue on the edge of our envelopes to make sure it wasn't going to stick to another one, because that logic isn't there of I'm picking up a package, another one is stuck to it. Maybe I should separate them. That process never occurs to anybody in those warehouses.
Yeah.
It's like when you grab a nacho, but it's like one big nacho, and all your friends look at you like you're a monster, and you're like, they're stuck together. That's one nacho.
Right.
Like, I don't care what you say. That's fine.
Yeah. Shout out to John. This is my buddy from Florida. Got a chance to hang out with him. He said, first time making it in the stream, friendly faces. Absolutely, John. You'll be really pleased with this. I'm super excited. And today, welcome, guys, John. And we'll be getting into all of this, but G Squared says, I see you have bigger sizes on shower products. Next time I'll re-up, I'll be upsizing. We're going to talk all about that today, guys. We always talk about oils. We always talk about butters. We talk about companies, and how this company is ran. But we want to talk about shower products and why it matters to men, why quality matters, and then just kind of go over some reviews that this company has seen, and you guys will definitely enjoy this conversation. But our buddy Tax says, what's the viscosity of your oil? I would call it a medium or a medium light viscosity oil. And is it all the same? Yes, all of their oil blends are the same. The blend does not change, only the scents, which are all natural essential oils, would change. Nick, would you say medium light for the viscosity?
Oh yeah, for sure. And especially after the feedback we've gotten from people, there's people in warmer climates who actually prefer that, this oil because of just how it's lighter and it's not as heavy on your beard. But one thing that's kind of unanimous, it seems like just about across everybody out there, is that because of its viscosity, it is super high absorbing. Like
Yeah.
it absorbs quick. You
Yep.
don't get the film and the grease and none of that stuff. So there's a few reasons why people are liking that. And one for me, it really helps with styling. Like you say, Dan,
Yeah.
your beard just looks good when you wear this stuff because it just
Facts.
wants to do what you want.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolute facts there. And not related to shower products, but we do have a slight update for you guys. And that would be, and I'll let Nick kind of take this away. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way, everyone. And Dr. Nick's last week, 1 week ago from today, launched X's and O's, which was an amber, oud, and sandalwood limited seasonal scent. Nick, what is going on with X's and O's?
What isn't going on with it? It's sold out is what it is. It is gone. It is gone.
Yeah.
Last ones went through yesterday, the last orders. And, it's kind of, it's interesting. We had about kind of what we thought with X's and O's. Some people really, really loved it. Wasn't for others. It was for other people. Some people really liked it and ordered, multiples. So it was one of those unique ones where we had to get it out of our system to try that combo. And some people thought it was a winner. And some people had kind of mixed reviews on it, which you'll see on the site, right? We leave any of those reviews up. And so if you liked it, go leave a positive one. That'd be fantastic. Just to kind of keep up those sold out items. But yeah, there it goes.
Yeah, and we're just naturally more prone to going out and leaving negative reviews, right? And I'm guilty of this when I get Amazon products. If I get it and it's what I thought or what I wanted, I just kind of chalk it up to being what I thought and what I wanted, and I move on. But if I get something that I thought was not advertised or it wasn't, I'm more prone to go leave that negative comment. And I've been trying to check myself on that and trying to put myself in the shoes of the companies. But also when I read reviews, understand that it's much more natural to go leave that negative review. And I don't think that it's a bad tactic to say, hey, if you guys love the products, please consider go leaving a review. An informed consumer is a powerful consumer. When someone goes to a site, the more information they have from people spending their hard-earned money can make all the difference in the world. So not just for Dr. Nick's, but for any company in any industry, if you have a good experience and there's the ability to leave a positive or a negative or constructive feedback, please do that with your reviews. It can make a big difference.
Yeah, that's huge. And what I will say is that the negative reviews that we got on it, it just blows me. This community just continues to always blow me away. They were tempered. They were very objective. I mean, to the point where I gave this 2 stars because I didn't like the scent, but I love the oil base so much that my beard feels fantastic. The scent doesn't last that long anyhow, so I'm still using it.
Yeah.
Which, and so it's fantastic. And someone even said like, the scent wasn't for me, but I love Dr. Nick so much I can't leave a 1-star review. So I at least left 2, and they'll kind of go on and explain a little bit. And to be perfectly honest, this is the only product I think that actually had more than 1 negative review ever. So I actually think this is really good for the website because people can see that our reviews are not cherry picked. They're not filtered. And some products have only 5 stars and some have some mixed reviews. So, I mean, that is what it is. I think it goes a long way. And I like the fact that there's some variety up there of opinions.
For sure. And we said it on the stream last week when they sent it out to me. We knew that this was going to be one. And to be fair, there are people that passionately love X's and O's. There's people that have reached out and are like, oh my gosh, I can't get enough of this. I absolutely love this. But I even shared it on it last week. It wasn't a love for me. It wasn't a hate. I didn't throw it away. I wasn't disgusted, but it wasn't something. And I was very open and honest with Nick and Jill on that. So we knew that this was going to be a hit or miss scent. And there, again, a lot of people did love it. A lot of people didn't so much. But then you compare it to something like number 7. I don't see very many people disliking or hating number 7 out there, like in general. It's just such an amazing, nice, calm scent. And we can say that with confidence, as compared to saying, hey, this one's out there a little bit. This one's a little bit different. So it just depends on what you like.
Dude, it is. And you know what another thing is that Jill pointed out? For some reason, this scent on me smells way different than it does in bottle. So body chemistry is another huge thing. You got to think is that with fragrance oils, those sit on top of your skin, on top of hair. They do
Yep.
not absorb really, right? That's why they last so long and they're so effervescent. But what's interesting is with essential oils, body chemistry plays a huge role in it.
Yeah,
Like, you put this in my beard, you put it in Dan's, and you get someone to do a blind test. I bet you they could think it's two different oils
for sure.
because they really do play with your body chemistry. So some people, it might have been a body chemistry thing, even, right? It
Yeah.
could be a number of things.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And people also sometimes surprise themselves. Garrett said he was skeptical at number 7. He's like, I feel like I don't like the same profiles as Dan, but it's perfect for shower products, which is, really, again, great feedback. And I agree. I truly agree. And Johnny coming to us over from the other side of the pond, getting the kids to sleep, man. Thanks for stopping in, Johnny. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Johnny.
That's awesome. And so Brennan was talking about he leaves good negative reviews or good constructive reviews. And he says, so something's wrong with my body. It really, like, the amount of truth to that is so deep, right there. It's not about your body being wrong or anything, but we all do have different DNAs. We have different things. It's not a large portion, but there is a portion of beardsmen that have a reaction because of their DNA to things like coconut oil, where the coconut oil gives a different scent than any other carrier blend. And it strictly has to do with their skin, with their own oils, with their DNA. It doesn't smell like the oil at all. Something happens in a reaction. I'm actually deeply researching and trying to figure out why, but something's happening with that reaction. Another aspect that people greatly underestimate is all of our noses are different.
Oh, yeah.
All of our sniffers literally are shaped based on our DNA, based on our upbringing. Did you have some trauma to your nose? How many nose hairs do you have in there? That sounds silly and ridiculous, but it's true. If you don't believe me, do one of those things where you put the wax up there and you rip all the hairs out. You smell in HD. You are now in 4K with your smell.
4K scent, which could be a good or a bad thing.
Right. And before that, you may not have realized, you may not have picked up notes. You may not have really understood those layers. There's so many things that shape what we smell and how we smell it, more so than anyone likely ever wants to admit. And that's something that I hope people always keep in mind. Your body DNA, your nose structure, even your upbringing. There's certain scents that will trigger you and you just have a visceral reaction that you don't even know where it's coming from, but it's some deep-seated memory that you had put away. And right, let's say for me, sandalwood, I don't know why, but maybe something happened and I associate sandalwood with those negative experiences. That's real. That does happen. So when we say stuff like it's subjective, when I say we, I'm talking about the whole community. It's true. It really is true. There's no other way to say, this or that. When we talk about carrier blends, there is definitely areas of subjectivity, but there are things that are bad and there are things that are good. And that's true. I don't think anybody should be putting certain ingredients on their beard. For scents, nobody can say that it's bad. Nobody can say it's good. It's just what you like.
Yeah. Or you could be like Dewey Cox and you've gone smell blind for some reason in your life.
Yeah. Yep.
You know?
No, and yeah, there's people that do that. And then again, that's real too. If you don't believe me, check smokers. They don't even realize that cigarette smoke is so potent. Ooh. And then when you don't, I'll never forget, like when I was younger, going to bars and they would just smoke and you'd come home like, oh gosh, now you smell cigarette smoke. I don't have anybody in my life that smokes. And it's like, oh my goodness. And they don't even realize it. They don't even have a concept. That's nose blind.
And like, actually, what's funny is back when I first started Dr. Nick's, at that point in time, I smoked. And fast forward to when we relaunched in 2019, I didn't smoke. And some of the scents that I developed in 2015, I was like, wow, that one smells really good. Like, that's a lot different than I remember. I don't remember there being this or that in there, so I totally changed my scent palette.
Yeah. So fun story here from Viking Outlaw. Do you know, and I think we've discussed this, do you know the most accurate indicator of increasing COVID cases in America? What is the number one thing that predicts if we are about to, and it's within like a week or 2 week basis, if we are going to have an increase or a surge in COVID numbers? It is Yankee Candle. Okay. Yankee Candle was more accurate, shocker, than the CDC, than any other department, any other area. Yankee Candle started tracking how many complaints they got about the scent strength of their candles and about the scent purity of their candles. And it directly correlated with COVID numbers. When it was all good and business was great, we had a low numbers of COVID. All of a sudden, people started complaining, hey, I can't smell your candles. Your candles are garbage. What's wrong with your candles? All these people started to realize they had COVID and they couldn't smell because of their candles. That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. The most accurate indicator, but it does, no pun intended, but it does make sense. You understand that. And I saw that with beard products too. I'd get people that would reach out and be like, hey, is this company really light on their scents, and whatever the company may be? And I'm like, no, they're really known for super strong, aggressive scents. They're like, I can't smell it. I'm like, you might want to get checked. You
might need to.
Yeah, you might want to look into that. So yeah, Yankee Candle was the biggest indicator of COVID resurgence. It was pretty crazy to see it, and they started releasing documents on it.
That is a trip.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And just I saw it fly by there. Beards and vinyl. You know, I was thinking about it. Am I gonna go see any of the Pantera reunion shows? I was really gonna when it was Phil and Rex, and now that it's just Phil and Rex dropped off, he said that maybe he's gonna come back. So I guess he's only missing a number of dates. So I think the ones that are in my area, he is going to be back. So I'd be interested in that, being as I'm a huge Black Label Society fan, huge Black Label, or huge just Zakk Wylde fan in general. A lot of people are saying like, oh, it's a money grab. It's not Pantera. They're just using the name and they shouldn't. And Phil should, this and this and this. But honestly, like from that side, I can see that and I don't like it. But from the music side, I love Down. So I love Phil and Selma. I love Pantera and I love Zakk Wylde. And, so I think I'm probably going to get suckered into going to one just so I can say I did and I can have my own opinion.
Yeah. Yep. And Garrett, get better, man. He says, I'm actually out of work this week for COVID. There's actually several people in the chat right now that are out of work for COVID. I'm not going to put their business out there, but several people that I'm personally friends with that I know are going through it right now. So feel better, guys, and girls out there, if you're going through that. And private sector for the win. John says, sounds like in Florida, they use Waffle House for their open close status to measure how bad the hurricane is.
Oh yeah, damn right. Yep, that's yeah. If Waffle House is closed, it's going to get bad.
Oh, Florida man always wins. All right, another one before we kind of transition into the top. And guys, hey, keep the questions, keep the topics coming. We just have some guidelines, some things that we'd like to talk about and touch on. If you guys got topics, you got questions, you got comments, keep them flowing. Please don't worry about us going on tangents and talking about different random things. But Nick, we got to address the elephant in the room here. Garrett says, I can't stop staring at Nick's hat and shirt. The apparel drop is going to be fire. Updates, what's going on with this apparel drop?
I think what they're doing right now is they're doing the tags. So everything is printed, all the shirts, all the hoodies, everything is good. And we even did, funny enough, just to tell you how right this print shop is, I got a funny story about the shirts and a little bit of a reprint. But the shirts, everything's done. They're doing tags this week and they're embroidering hats. So I imagine I'm going to be able to go pick up the boxes of everything later this week. I'm really hoping that I can spend Friday, instead of doing production with Jill like I did last Friday, I'm hoping I can spend Friday basically doing all the photos necessary for this stuff so that we can launch these things live next week. And so we're going to be doing some photos. We're going to be doing that. But the hoodies, oh man. So this is a tagged version. I took one off the press. I was like, I don't care if the tag's on it. I'm taking that. And so, yeah, here you go. I'll stand back a bit here. Hold on.
Please do. Oh, nice. Love the different shaped skulls there. Beautiful.
And it's got a good fit to it. It's got, I love the skulls down the sleeve.
Yeah.
Like, things are just so freaking cool. Stacked down the arm. The weight on this one is a mid-weight pullover. And that's going to be on the website, I believe, for $40. And then we're going to have the heavyweight zip-up hoodie, which is going to be up there for $50. So we're actually launching these really, really good pricing, I think, compared to everything else that's out there. You're going to be able to kind of pick between something that's got a little more detail, a little more weight to it, or something that's more of a mid-weight pullover. I think they're both great. definitely going to switch back and forth between both. I no longer have to decide what I'm going to wear for clothes, by the way, which is why I'm really excited about the merch launch. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, why am I going to wear anything else at this point, right? I'm
Right.
just going to walk around like a billboard from now on, I think.
Why not? Why not?
Jobs and always wear the same shirt.
And so Jill referenced what you were talking about. And then Nicholas, could you just clarify in general, what do you mean by the tags? What's going on with the tags here?
All right, let me show you. So I'm going to pull this up. There's twofold for this. So, you know, when you buy a shirt and sometimes they have the manufacturer tag in the back and it's a branded shirt. Well, there are some nuances there, both from, for me, a quality and appearance perspective is one. And then two, there's actually some trademark law that governs exactly how you're classified in this space.
Okay.
A lot of people don't realize, my patent attorney, thankfully, is really good at what he does. If you have if you try to trademark a shirt, like if you're trying to trademark yourself as apparel, right? If you have a shirt with your logo on it and it has a branded tag from the manufacturer, you cannot trademark that as clothing. And people do, and it gets through the USPTO. And then if there's a problem, they get revoked. And so it's considered an art installation if you put your logo on another manufacturer's tagged item. If you rip off that manufacturer tag and you screen print your own, now you can trademark your likeness as clothing. You can't do that with another manufacturer's tag. So we're doing this.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you're going to have our little skull logo, the same as you see here, except it's going to have the sizes right inside there instead of a skull. And so that brands it as ours. We're able to trademark it as clothing. And so that's a huge piece. So it's a little extra step that goes in, but it's just something, again, you don't get that from, Branded Bills or Teespring or any of that kind of stuff. You get a shirt with a Gildan tag on it. And Gildan owns that shirt at that point. That is not a branded, trademarkable article.
That's awesome. Branded Bills is the exception there. They do have Branded Bills as their brand.
Yeah, exactly right. But if you put your logo on there,
right,
you can't trademark the Dan C logo as a hat trademark. You're an art installation.
Yep.
Oddly enough, had no idea.
Now, is that flush and printed right on there, or is there a physical tag?
No physical tag at all. It's
beautiful,
flush, printed right on, no itchiness at all, and it's an ink transfer kind of a press, so you shouldn't feel any ink there either.
Awesome.
Yeah,
and
really well.
Jill covered this, but was asking about the shirts. Are they going to be black? And then Jill said first run will only be in black.
Yep. First run's going to be in black. We're then thinking about doing an inverted one where it's going to be white with a black logo potentially. Another thing that's probably coming just because of how many friends we have in this space, where it's going to take a poll at some point to see what everybody wants. But I have committed to a number of friends that we're going to be doing a run of high-vis shirts that they can wear for work. If they do construction or work around construction sites, what do we do, right? Do we do the high-vis green, high-vis yellow, or high-vis orange? You have three options. And like Mass Department of Transportation dictates yellow, but then around in construction and all the other unions, you can use green or orange. So I'm kind of leaning toward the green or the orange for the two. I kind of like the idea of the orange because I think the black logo will look fantastic on it.
Yeah.
But open there, and that way you guys that work out there and you're required to wear high-vis stuff, you'll have an option there as well, which is pretty cool.
Super cool. Speaking of cool, look at all these tags as he rotates through 7, 9, 18, and 21 through the week.
Awesome. Hey, it's like my same rotation.
That's cool. Super cool.
Once around the world.
So we do know that these are going to be the Dr. Nick's branded hoodies here, but you did share the brand of the T-shirt. Do you know the brand? Do you want to share the brand of the hoodies that is the maker of the quality? Just because people kind of understand. And I forget, what was the name of the T-shirt company?
So the T-shirt company is Next Level, which is
right.
Truly next level. Those guys are huge, and this is going to make everyone very happy. And I ripped the tag off just to show, because it is popular. There's some huge brands out there that use them. And we are independent trading company for the hoodies.
Okay.
So Independent is a huge hoodie brand. They do lots of some big name brands out there that do like $80 to $120 hoodies. They're made out of these hoodies. Just full transparency. They are insanely soft on the inside. I've washed this one twice, and looks great. There's no issues with the printing. Printing looks good. And it's even got some cool little details here. Like it's got the metal eyelets for the strings. The strings are nice and flat. They're sewn on the ends, so there's no frays. They're very nice tips on here. They're double and triple stitched everywhere. They're really nice.
There's nothing worse than a cheap hoodie. Like
Dude,
a cheap.
So bad.
When we would do like school like team shirts and stuff, they would give us the bottom of the barrel. They would get crispy. You wouldn't have the eyelets on the little holes, so they would just start fraying. Like there's nothing worse than a cheap hoodie. Like I cannot do it. I can't do it. So I'm glad to hear about that. And speaking of school, I loved Judd's entrance here. He came in at 24 minutes into the stream and said, "Sorry, I'm late. Can you repeat everything?" And obviously he's joking, such a great guy. But like when I was teaching, this stuff would be real. I would have kids that would miss school, and the parents would be like, could you please replicate every single thing that you did for the entire day for my child that went to a trampoline park? And it would just be like, oh, you're serious? Oh my gosh. Like, oh, wow.
When they ask you, you're like, that's a good one. Oh,
yeah.
You're serious.
Oh, you're serious. Yeah. Oh, no, I can't do that. But thank you for asking. And Brendan wants to know, how long are the shirts and hoodies? Every time I order that stuff, it ends up feeling like a belly shirt.
So I have a long torso and short legs. So I like for pants, I wear a 30-30. So I'm like 30 waist, 30 length, right? So short legs, but I do have a long torso. So short t-shirts, like band shirts, like the Gildan heavy tees. I wash those things twice, and I'm like bottom of beard for my shirt. But you can see on this one, like here's waist level, right? And then you go down. I mean, if you pull this thing down, you got some pretty good length on this thing.
Awesome.
So it sits nice. It's not one of those. It's not like one of Jill's summertime spring hoodies that stops halfway down.
Or the new trend of the pump crop top hoodies at the gym. Have you seen those?
Oh yeah.
So they wear them. It's men and women, but they'll wear like a hoodie that's like cut off at half point. So they go in because they feel small. Then they start working out, get the pump, and then they take it off. And it literally covers their shoulders. Like it's ridiculous. Yep. Like if you're that worried, like come on now. And for people's reference, Nick, how tall are you and what size is that hoodie?
This is a large. Which gives me some nice room in it. It's baggy. I kind of like baggier hoodies typically.
Yeah.
I could definitely wear a medium, right? So in most t-shirts, I'm either I'm a medium or a large with t-shirts. If they fit large, I'm a medium. If they fit normal, I'm a large. Or if they fit small, I'm a large.
Yeah.
But I'd say the t-shirts are definitely on the longer side, which is great. But it's not like that weird swoop back, like they're not like some super long hipster shirt or something. But they fit, I'd say pretty true to size. So this right here, I'm 5'10". Like I say, 30-inch waist, 30-inch inseam, and I 30 or 32, depending on what I ate that day. But this is a large, and it fits great. I got big shoulders too. That's usually my problem, is that I have to size up for shoulders and arms and back and chest. So like typically I'll size shirts to fit here, and then they're huge down here.
Gotcha.
And what I will say about our shirts is that the large actually does fit me everywhere. It fits my shoulders, and it's not like a tent around my waist, which is awesome.
Awesome. And
so
Mike,
muscular fit.
Yeah, Mike says if it's long enough for Dan, that's long enough for me. So I haven't tried these yet.
Boom.
I will be an XL. I'm 6'3", and so I will. I'll be able to give you guys that full feedback as soon as I'm able to try them. I'm excited for the hoodie. Super excited for the t-shirt. And beyond words for the hat.
Oh yeah, and you will have all of them in a box if I have anything to do with it by Friday with
let's go
with Monday delivery, so you can have them before the stream. I hope next week.
Love that.
But there's one more note someone asked about. So no, I said something. Sorry, shirts. This is how you know you're working with the right spot. So I get the shirts, and the typical spacing for a chest logo, I learned this, is 2 fingers from the center point. So you go 2 fingers over. That's where your typical logo is. I got the shirts, and my beard covered up the logo pretty bad. This one's over far enough where I think it fits just right for everybody. The shirts though were about over here. So I wasn't super happy. I had a little bit of a panic attack because they were already all printed. So I call up Brandon down at Nocturnal and I said, hey, man, and kind of explained the problem to him. And we came up with, he's like, okay, well, the double XLs and triple XLs are already moved over because they have to for the sizing. The smalls are in about the same boat. He's like, the mediums, the larges, and the extra larges, which we ordered the most of, are the ones with the issue. So he actually worked with me and made it to where we could swap those out. We could keep the ones that were a little closer in as giveaway shirts. And then we were able to reprint those medium larges and extra larges at a cost that worked for us. He worked with me to kind of meet halfway, like he kind of ate part of it. I ate the other part of it, but I wanted you guys to have something that looked and felt exactly right. So we actually then ran the credit card again and reprinted all the mediums, large, and extra larges to move the logo over a little bit because I didn't want you guys to have the problem I was having, and I wasn't happy putting them out. So we're going to have a bunch of extra friends and giveaway shirts for people who need them, or for events and things like that, and also have exactly what I intended for you guys to have, which was a shirt that looked and felt just right.
Yeah, that's awesome. And Mike, no disappearing here. I just give the stage to Nick sometimes just to make sure we highlight. And then probably final question on the merch until we move on here. Poly, cotton, what is the blend like for the shirts and hoodies, if you know?
So with the next level, they are mostly a cotton blend, but there is a little, I can pull up the exact makeup of them for us, but they are a blend. And the hoodies here, since I have the tag right in front of me, they are 80% cotton, 20% polyester. So
Cool.
they're a poly blend as well, but a cotton heavy poly blend. And the reason we did that, we are probably going to come out with an organic cotton line of some stuff for some special edition things. They have some organic cotton shirts I like and some organic cotton hoodies I like. The problem is those are going to be at a different price point, and I wanted to get our common, just our basic offering, which I think is well beyond most people's basic offerings. I wanted to get those in at a really good price, and they're going to stay consistent all the time. They're always going to be available. And then we're going to do limited releases of little pop of color, maybe on the logo, or a different color shirt, or a different wash, or a different fit. And those will be different artists. And that's a huge one we'll talk about coming in down the road here. Tattoo artists are getting involved. We got some other graphic artists getting involved. So really cool collaborations to come for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And then next one we'll get into this the shower products. But G Squared said, hey, if it allows, he said it rarely happens, but sometimes his beard gets staticky. G Squared, me too. It's pretty rare. It almost always has to do with the climate. If your house is drier, your beard's going to be more staticky. It can also have to do with the tools you're using. If you use a plastic comb, you're going to have much more likelihood of having static. Even a quality one like a cellulose acetate like Kent comb is going to give you much more static than a carbon fiber or a wood or an oxhorn comb. But it just, man, it happens. You probably have dry skin around the same time. Your shirts are probably staticky around the same time. The best thing I can give you advice to do is if it is staticky, get it damp a little bit again, and then apply some beard oil or some beard butter. Even if it's 20 minutes after that, that's going to knock down that static right away.
Dude, yeah, huge. I've noticed that the beard butter really helps cut down static with me. Another thing that helps, giving props to another company out there, is Aberlite. The Aberlite Pro has that negative ion generator in the brush. So sometimes if I have a lot of static, I'll put that through my beard quick just to get the ions on there. And it does knock down some of the static. It's not just a sales gimmick. I truly believe, I don't know if it's the residual oil on my brusher that's doing it or not, but I will say that when I do it, it helps.
For sure. I actually, so we had on Cole Cuts, a professional barber. He's sponsored by Babyliss, and that's my favorite tools brand out there for anything related to cutting and now even styling. And they reached out, they're like, is there anything you want to try? And they have a heated brush that has all those specs and nice things. So I'm super excited because they only do stuff right. So I'm pumped to hopefully be able to try that. But they also have a cooling brush that's supposed to like be a cold shot from like a blow dryer, but in a heated brush form, and it's supposed to add moisture back to your beard. So I was like, ooh, I don't know about adding a whole entire tool for that, but if it really does make a difference, I'm game. So I'll keep everybody updated on that. That they just reached out yesterday, so I'll be excited to hear what we got going for that one.
And Nicholas Z69, it is both, mostly metal, I will say.
Yeah. Oh, he's a metalhead. He's a yeah. Would you describe a lot of the music you listen to as death metal?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of it's probably death metal, but I mean, these days it probably, it's weird because the classification of new metal used to really turn me off, but a lot of it's actually, like Stray the Path and Knocked Loose and those guys. I mean, those guys are like the metalcore side of things, I guess. I've been loving some of that stuff lately, like a ton. I've been listening to
Cool.
Knocked Loose like on loop.
Cool. Yeah, I have no concept of who that is, but it sounds awesome.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, they're really, really, really good. All right. Well, now we have less than 20 minutes left, which is actually perfect, you guys. A lot of this seems like organized chaos because it is. This wasn't the biggest topic in the world, but it was something that we wanted to talk about. So I want to start by highlighting a couple comments that I saved, showing a graphic, and then kind of talking about some thoughts and what's going on here. So G Squared says, me and my wife each have our own bottle of Dr. Nick's body wash and love it. She especially does because she was looking for a natural wash that wasn't filled with garbage but smelled nice. Facts. Mark says, I've been very impressed with how much the shampoo lathers with quite a small amount. A little bit goes a long way. And then Chris says, same, definitely upsizing the beard conditioner to 8 ounce and a 16 ounce. So that kind of tips our hand here at what is going to be an update. If you guys didn't see on Instagram saw it first. But to bring it to you guys live here, the shower products have had some changes. Unscented, aka number 0, is available in all of the products. Across the shower lineup, we also now have the availability of a 16-ounce body wash. A lot of you went through the 8 ounce quick. You're like, I need something bigger. And then they're now, instead of just the 4 ounces, there are 8 ounce beard wash, beard conditioner in number 7 and in number 0. So some really nice changes. And these changes came about because of you guys. People requested them. People wanted them. And Nick and Jill said, let's make it happen. So Nick, thoughts? What's going on with these changes?
Oh man, aside from loving our new bottling machine, which you guys will see in our next shop tour to see our new facility floor coming soon. The number 0 is huge. Like Jill, for example, she loves our face wash, but she has such sensitive skin on her face that she really does prefer something with no fragrance, no essential oils, no anything in it for her face. So she's been using the unscented face wash for quite a bit now. Made some just for her a while back. She loves it. And a lot of people were asking for the unscented shower products. And whether that's because they want to add in some of their own fragrance or it's because they just want a all natural, 100% unadulterated shower experience, then that's there for them. And it looks like, based on popular demand, I think number 9 will probably be our next shower product scent release, which will be available across all of them as well. So the new sizes were definitely by demand. People wanted more. And I think we're going to be releasing a bundle on the, and actually it was kind of up to vote as well. We are thinking about, with the 4 ounce wash and conditioner, actually making that only available in a set, that instead of being each for $12, it would be like the set for 20, and then having the individual 8 ounces available for 20 as well. So we're kind of kicking that idea around to kind of help just kind of streamline things a little bit on our side and make it easier for you guys. But no, sizes were by request. The unscented were, by request. So you asked, we did it. Here
Awesome.
it is.
And here's a question for you. Jill followed up with it, and I'll read Jill's response and then kick it to you. But Evan says, are you going to add a pump top option for the shower products? And Jill said, thought about it, ordered some testers, wondering how they would hold up in shipping, looking into some brands here. Do you want to go over quickly your process and what's going on with the pump tops?
Yeah. And so we are looking at those. We're going to order a couple more samples. And what we're thinking is, what we might do is either ship them capped with the pump top attached to the bottle inside the wrapping in the plastic. And that way we don't have to worry about any pump tops coming undone and pumping in the bag or anything like that, like you get sometimes. And a lot of the time too, until we move to boxes for shipping, if those tops get jammed really badly and they get hit in shipping, they might not pop open and then actually work correctly. So we're kind of working through that a little bit. But for the bigger, one of the things that the reason I really want the pump top is, especially for the 8 ounce and the 16 ounce of stuff, is that the labels on the plastic, like those plastic bottles, they will crease after a while once you get down to the bottom and you're squeezing the heck out of them like a toothpaste tube to get the stuff out. And I just want them to look nice in the shower longer. It doesn't really affect usability. I mean, you shake it out and use it, but I'd like them to stay looking nice. So we're definitely looking at those options. Oh, we lost your audio for a second there, Dan.
Yeah, there we are. This is a really kind of hard-hitting comment right here that was kind of the precipice of all of this for you guys. And he said, we compared the ingredients of the face wash to my wife's expensive one, and the first ingredient for them was water. NYX's aloe wasn't even comparable. So do you want to, and obviously we're not naming any names here, but do you want to touch on what, because I've had those similar experiences with Sam's products from Ulta that are just like jaw-dropping outrageous prices when I hear these things. And it's just become ingrained in a lot of like women's products culture that it's okay to spend these outrageous amounts of money on these products when you have something from like a beard company. And even my wife, who's deeply into all this, it has taken convincing for me to be like, listen, just because it's not at Ulta, listen, just because it doesn't have a $60, $80 price tag doesn't mean that it's less than. Oftentimes it's quite the opposite. So what is your thought on that? What was your guys' approach with creating these high quality products at a price point that just seems to defy any kind of logic?
Yeah, the margins in the women's cosmetic industry are ridiculous. I mean, we're talking sometimes 100% plus margins. And it's literally brand. And what these companies are charging for is their operating cost. You look at the amount of money they spend on packaging, branding, and marketing. They have to have 100% plus margins to be able to turn any kind of a profit selling that stuff, to stand out in front of everybody else doing it. And we don't do that, right? We don't spend a lot of money. We don't spend money on advertising right now at all. And so we were able to really turn that margin around a little bit and not have to support other parts of the business that need it, which I think was really effective because, you're right. We've been told by a number of people now that look at this thing and they're like, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. You could sell that face wash for $40 and it would still be half the price of some of the washes that are out there with similar ingredients. And I say, hey, that's great. So $18 is a slamming deal. And, everyone agrees. And so we want to bring you guys good stuff at a good price. And, I think some people could take that as a quality hit, right? You see the big price tag, you think it must be good.
Right.
It's not the way we roll. We want to, your face should tell you if it's good or not your wallet.
For sure.
But yeah, the first ingredient being aloe is huge. I mean, it's an aloe and hemp seed oil based wash. I mean, it's only good stuff in there. You could literally take this stuff, put an emulsifier in it, blend it with water, and throw in some kind of a thickening agent to it. And you could literally 10 times spread this product out. And that speaks to how little of it you need to get your whole face and your head, your ears, everything all clean. A lot of these things, you need a ton of it. Like Tom that runs our wood shop downstairs, he came up and said, man, I used my other beard wash the other day because it was almost gone. I figured I'd use the last of it and get rid of it so I can just have yours in the shower. And he's like, I got to fill up my whole hand with that watery stuff to even get like a good enough lather to fill my whole beard. He's like, with yours, it's like the size of my thumb and it's boom, full beard. So,
yeah. Yep. And this is Garrett's wife, Melissa, and she says, most of the products are the reason women have skin issues. I absolutely love the ingredients in your products. The smell is wonderful too. That is awesome.
Melissa,
thanks for coming in, Melissa.
So much. And thanks for stopping in.
And then
here's the reviews is huge on this stuff.
For sure. Here's a good idea from Paul. If the concern was with the pump top, what about having it sealed and then throwing it in separately?
That's exactly what I was saying when I'd have it like in the plastic next to the bottle.
Yeah.
I love that idea, right? That way we can have them there. We cap them like normal with a foil top capper that sits on the top. And that way you have the disc top if you want it. And then the pump top is just, with the bottle wrapped up in plastic in the bag. So I think that's probably going to be the option we go with.
And then here's a great question from Mark. He says, have you considered spray colognes for your scents? I don't know how they would work with only essential oils, but people are loving them so much. Is this something you guys have discussed and looked into?
Yeah, it is. And right in front of Third Man Records too. I love it. A solid cologne is a really good option for essential oils because the wax that's in that's going to help it stay on your skin really, really well. From a liquid standpoint, we're looking into the oil diffusers for people's rooms. We already have some samples of them downstairs. And Between the colognes, yeah, we're definitely kicking between a liquid spray or a solid cologne in a tin. But absolutely, we want people to be able to enjoy this stuff. We're even thinking about taking our blends and making those available as just essential oil drams as well to be able to use in anything else you might like. So there's some more things coming there from as far as just a scent perspective goes. Audio.
So lots and lots of great feedback on the face wash. What about the body wash? What are your thoughts there? What have you been hearing? What is the difference with a Dr. Nick's? And we're talking about the experience of Dr. Nick's difference. We can understand water-based for the face wash as the first ingredient as compared to aloe and hemp seed and all that stuff. What about the body wash? What makes Dr. Nick's body wash so special?
You know, it's got to be the fact that the only thing in there that even resembles any kind of an emulsifier or bonding agent or anything is the vegetable glycerin. It's the only thing in there that's not a soap product at its core. I mean, it's the almost identical base with a higher pH and a little more of the aloe in it. But I mean, it's a handmade, hemp seed oil, vegetable glycerin, aloe based body wash, which is huge. I mean, it's basically like a gel version of a Castile soap. And when you use it, your skin feels clean. You don't feel dry. You don't get that squeaky feeling. You don't feel like you're wearing a wetsuit afterwards when you get out. Actually, I feel more like a dry suit, but you don't feel that at all. And that's the feedback we're getting from people. Like if I look here, I pulled some up before this, you look at, beard wash, let's see, face wash. I had one here for body wash, right? I had the hardest time to find a body wash that didn't leave my skin feeling tight and dry after using it. This body wash is exactly what I was looking for a great feel after the shower. No tightness of the skin or any dry feelings. I'll be ordering this in truckloads. We have reviews like that just pouring in from people that have been looking for something that works, and they've been relegated to looking at, their drugstore or wherever else, and they haven't found anything that works for them. And this is, according to like just about 9 out of 10 reviews, this has fit that bill. It's become that body wash. And you're doing a great thing by supporting the homeless. And whenever you buy one of these, you're also buying a bottle for someone in need.
Yep.
And so it's a huge, that's a huge piece of it. But people's feedback on using it has been fantastic.
So true. And this is an ounce for ounce body wash situation. So now that you have a 16-ounce body wash, you guys, if you purchase a 16-ounce body wash from Dr. Nick's, they will be donating a 16-ounce body wash to the Friends of Boston Homeless, which is a homeless shelter, and then hopefully expanding beyond that as these numbers and sales pick up more and more.
And just so you know, those shelters and homes are getting the benefit beyond just body wash. Jill had a batch of beard butter that wasn't up to her perfect standards. It had a couple little cracks in the top from the curing process. She wasn't happy with them. So she took those, put them in a box, and put them right next to our donations for the shelters. Being as people are using this, so physical therapists are now using this butter on people for tight areas. We have someone in a senior care living situation that's a live-in hospice nurse that's using it on bedridden patients that have dry skin, sore spots, and spots where the sheets and blankets have caused irritation to their skin. And they're saying it's gone away. We have ex-cancer patients with melanoma on their skin who have dermatologists prescribed skin lotions and creams to get rid of redness and irritation at the cancer sites. Years of treatment have not gotten rid of it. And all of a sudden, 2 weeks of using this butter on their skin, the problems are gone. So you talk about the sick, the indigent, the homeless, things like that. Holy crap. Like this stuff's getting used like crazy there, especially this time of year. So we're donating that too. We're like, whatever else we can give away, we're going to do it. So we did our body wash donation, and now we're going to be adding in a whole box of kind of, B-string butters that otherwise wouldn't get used. And now they're going to a really good use.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And some great comments in here. Garrett says, body wash is hands down my favorite. The feel after the shower isn't a tightening feel. I feel moisturized and the skin feels healthy. Mark says, a reoccurring theme for me. I use a small amount and it spreads incredibly well and does wonders for a person who has suffered from dry skin his whole life.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. That's huge.
Yeah, that is truly truly amazing to hear all these things. And keep those comments coming. Again, guys, the body wash is that ounce for ounce donation to the homeless. So you can't beat that. You're giving back. This is such a cool thing to see. And then beyond that, I would say with our last couple of minutes here, what stands out to you about the feedback or about your own personal thoughts on the beard wash and beard conditioner?
So what stands out to me is the same thing that seems to be standing out in reviews. I went through, God, 5 years of trying beard washes to the point where it was a different one in my shower for a long time. I finally started using kind of an all-in-one. I guess it would be considered a co-wash from Lush, called Kalamazoo.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the first one that I could really actually use every day. But eventually it started burning my skin and I started having lots of little hot spots I had to treat with hyaluronic acid. And it was tough. It took me a long time to find something that worked. And I was determined in my trial processes with this stuff that until we found something that I could use for about a month straight without having an issue, we weren't going to put it out, which is why it took us so long to put it out. And what I'm hearing from people now on like beard wash is I've used lots of beard washes over the last 10 years. This is definitely one of the best of the best. It's real thick and lathers like you wouldn't believe. You look at, another one here, beard wash. This is the best liquid daily beard wash I have ever used. Yes, I've tried other things. Some of these people have tried, this one guy said he has tried 75 different products over 5 years. And ours is the first one that he's ever bought twice.
Wow.
And I'm like, I'm blown away by this stuff, right? I mean, this is like the stuff that I read and it just gets me up and going in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's fantastic feedback. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's the first thing that's worked for me. And it sounds like I am, once again, I'm not alone. I'm not the only one with, delicate petal soft skin that doesn't like anything. And, it's huge.
Yeah, that's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
In the conditioner, like if I take a comb, like one of these generic little jobbers here, and I used to get out of the shower and I'd have a hard time putting my fingers through my beard.
Yeah.
Now I can get out of the shower. I can take the fine tooth side of this comb and put it straight through my beard in a wet beard out of the shower.
That's amazing.
I mean, the detangling quality of this conditioner is huge. It is not heavy. Garrett's wife even said it's the first conditioner that she's ever put in hair in general that she's seen not make the hair heavier, add zero weight, but still condition, smooth, and soften.
Yep, that was a goal. That was a goal in the testing phase.
It was.
And kind of the concept of this, you guys, is oftentimes as men, you think about beard oil, you think about beard butter, but it's not often that you think about body wash or face wash. And if you do, it's not often that you think about the ingredients and the quality and what it should be doing and why it should be doing these things. And so that's kind of what we had the idea of today is quality shower products matter. It really does make a difference. It can add to your overall hygiene. It could just be another step in you taking care of yourself and being aware of all aspects of what you're putting on your body. It truly can make a difference. And if you guys ever have feedback, don't hesitate to reach out to Dr. Nix, whether it's to their email that's on the website or their Instagram. Always open to positive feedback, constructive criticism, any experiences that you guys have at all. And guys and girls out there, we will be live next week, 1 p.m. Eastern with Doctor's Orders with some more great things. We're going to have some guests coming up in a couple of weeks from now and some really fun things planned. And who knows, new releases, new everything out there. So Nick, go ahead and take them away with this last bit here.
Oh man, I'm so pumped to get this merch stuff up here, guys. I mean, it's going to be incredible. It's going to be a busy end of the week getting all the photos done, but we're excited to start doing it and get them out there. So we're pumped. We're hoping that these things are going to be a topic of discussion next week on the live stream. Even like Dan said, we have some great guest spots coming in. We have some new retail partners. Quick shout out to Craft Barbering Co. in Pembroke, Massachusetts. They were the first ever shop to carry our products back in 2015.
So cool.
We are now back on their shelves now. So came back right to where we started with an old partner, and we're thrilled to be back in there. So check them out if you're in the local area. Aside from that, guys, just thanks for all the feedback. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the emails. Thanks for reaching out. Thanks for the encouragement. Just thank you for everything. Really appreciate it. And we will see you next week.
All right. See you guys. Have a great rest of your week.